The United Nations has raised fresh concerns over worsening food insecurity in Nigeria, warning that 35 million Nigerians could face acute hunger between June and August as the lean season approaches. According to the United Nations humanitarian country team, nearly 1 in 7 Nigerians may struggle to access adequate food in the coming months, with northern Nigeria expected to be hardest hit due to insecurity, displacement, rising food prices, and worsening economic hardship. The UN also warned that millions of vulnerable households may be forced to skip meals, sell assets, and withdraw children from school if urgent intervention is not provided.
The warning comes amid rising inflation attacks on farming communities and growing concerns over Nigeria's shrinking humanitarian support capacity. Aid agencies say only about 40% of the $516 million required for Nigeria's 2026 humanitarian response plan has been funded, raising fears over the country's ability to respond effectively before the peak of the lean season.
Well, joining us to examine the implications of the United Nations warning and possible solutions, our humanitarian affairs expert, Emmanuel Osemeka, joins us this morning, and we have public affairs analyst and founder of Dream Heights Consult, Agaba Wilson. Agaba, thank you so much for being here, gentlemen.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Let me start with you first, Emmanuel. The United Nations says about 35 million Nigerians could face acute hunger in the coming months, which means starting from now when this statement was released. How serious is this warning, and what does it say about Nigeria's current food security situation?
Thank you very much, sir, and it's my pleasure to be here again. In all honesty, I believe that 35 million Nigerian being put out, as those that may likely face serious food shortage, is a fraction of the reality. If you look at the cadre harmonisé, is the tool that the United Nations uses to assess food insecurity or food security across any geographic region. And this is done in collaboration with the federal ministries and of course state ministries of agriculture of any given nation, in collaboration, of course, with several other humanitarian agencies, NGOs, and of course those who are working in food security sector. I'm sure you are all aware that we currently have about 140 million Nigerians who are currently below the what the United Nations call multidimensionally poor, and 35 million is currently considered to be at risk. These 35 million are people who we have been identified as those that will suffer within the lean season. And when you talk about the lean season, you're talking about the planting season. The planting season starts from the month of May, June, all the way to the harvest season in August, September. And of course, on a yearly basis, lean seasons are usually the most expensive seasons in every agricultural belt or in every region or country. But with Nigeria, associated with farmers, not having access to their farms, communities being ransacked on a daily basis, you discover that the number 35 million are those that are at the fringes. But if you look deeper, the number is actually much more than 35 million. Because if you go from Plateau, Benue, Nasarawa, Kaduna, Zamfara, all the way to Yobe, you will discover serious non-farming activities for the better part of 3 years as a result of insurgencies, kidnapping, banditry. in the news on a daily basis, you hear about Plateau State, for example, and the volume and the level of killings that is taking place there. That of Benue State has been, underplayed for political expediencies. But the reality is that Nigeria is in serious problem. And within these 35 million, there is about 4.8 million women and children that are going to suffer serious malnutrition if nothing happens. Of course, the UN is shouting because their funding is currently short. The amount of monies they are expecting to be able to support the vulnerable people and, of course, victims of hostilities across the country, most especially within the northeast region of Benue, of Borno, Adamawa, and Yobe, has fallen short. As at this month of May, the WFP is yet to hit more than 35% of their funding for the emergency food assistance. And WFP is a World Food Program that supports household activities when, especially during the emergency operations. So the reality is that the numbers are more than what has been put out, but within what the UN catchment area, they have been able to put out a 35 million Nigerians that may likely, have acute food shortage, or simply put, that will surely go hungry between now and August.